Welcome to School Talk. Today we'll continue talking with some of our principals, students, and teachers of our choice schools. My first guest today is Oakdale Elementary with Ms. Khalid, the principal. Ms. Khalid, I'm going to have your students introduce themselves to us before we get started.
Sure.
My name is James Hedrick, and I'm in 5th grade.
My name is Carmela Thousa, and I'm in 5th grade also.
Great. Well, thank you all for being with me today. Ms. Khalid, why don't you begin by just explaining to us what your choice school is at Oakdale Elementary?
Okay. Well, we are a STEM magnet, or have been a STEM magnet since 2011-2012. This year, we are transitioning to a STEAM magnet, and that stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, Arts, and Mathematics. And so that's a program where we focus on our science, we focus on kids' problem solving, creating that relevance for what they're learning in the classroom.
So I know right now our parents have an opportunity to take tours and to fill out an application to attend one of our choice schools. So if I'm a parent and I come to tour your school, what will I see that's different than a traditional school?
Well, first of all, STEM or STEAM is a school-wide program. So where some programs may be school within a school, this is for all of our students, kindergarten through 5th grades. We talk a lot about inquiry and the quality of questions that we're asking, challenging students to make connections, learning their science, learning their math, and a lot of literacy, but it's about problem solving as well. How do we use the information that we have to make a difference in the world? So for example, kindergarten, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, all the way through 5th, they're considering real life problems. Our kindergartners, for example, we're using their science content to help them figure out how can they design a safe shelter or structure for animals who are in extreme weather. Our 1st grade students have considered their information that they're learning about light sources and how can they use that information to help 1st graders remain safe. So our students are doing a lot of learning the standards, but they're learning it in a way that they're answering that question, why do I have to know this? In addition to that, we have opportunities for students to learn about coding, robotics, just making the real life connections and careers that they may choose to focus on that they never knew were out there that pertain to the science, the technology, the engineering, the arts, and the mathematics.
That's great. So really getting kids ready for middle school, high school, and then life beyond.
Oh yeah, and they're working on those skills that as we've connected with businesses and we've talked with them, everyone has heard of the soft skills. And so our students, because they are having these collaborative experiences and they're problem solving, they're learning to work with diverse thinkers and perhaps not always getting their way, but learning how do you negotiate that. And so those are skills that transfer regardless of where they are. Persevering to solve a problem, you can do that regardless of the career path that you choose.
Great. Well, James and Carmela, welcome to our show. Tell me one thing that you like most about your STEM program at Oakdale.
To me, it's more hands-on opportunities.
Can you give me an example of something you've done in the classroom that is more hands-on?
Instead of just learning about ecosystems, we have made eco-columns to show how one thing depends on the other and have been able to show and do measurements with math of how much dirt we need, do hands-on cutting for the bottles, being able to have our own aquariums and terrariums.
Great. Carmela, how about you?
Well, for me, it will have to be our arts and music related arts times, because for me, I would love to grow up and do something in the arts production or music production.
Great. Well, Ms. Khalid talked a little bit about coding. Can one of you share with our audience what coding is? What does that mean? We hear a lot about that.
We have our own club called Robotics, which we take a website online to make our own games, and this year have introduced it to sports games of how you have timers for games, you have little commercials for sports-related stuff, and basketball sessions. And now in our club, we are taking Lego and turning it into stuff we code on the computer, plugging it up, and our Lego contraption actually working and moving.
Wow. So as I said to Ms. Khalid, we've got parents and students right now that are looking at all of the choice schools that we have, and they're making a decision about whether or not they want to apply to a choice school or if they want their student to go to a traditional school, their home school. What would be a reason why you feel like they should come to Oakdale Elementary? Carmela, do you want to answer first? Why would you tell another student that they should come to your school?
Well, I feel as if Oakdale is very home friendly for James and I being here since kindergarten. We always have people that will be there for you whenever you have trouble, also the teachers and principals. Plus, everyone will try to want to help out with you, and also when you have a problem, they will try to keep you motivated. And I feel as if that is a need for kids these days.
Great.
The Oakdale is a very friendly school because some of the teachers will do if there's a problem on any math sheet or anything in school, they'll help you out by slowing down and going over it again. And it's basically a friendly school overall.
Have either one of you choiced or are you zoned for Oakdale?
I don't know if I'm zoned or choiced, but if I was choiced, I would definitely have gone.
That's great. Do you know, Carmela, are you zoned or are you choice?
I was zoned for it, and now I am eligible for choice.
Great, great. Ms. Khalid, we know that our board recently took action to allow us to add South Point High School to our STEAM program. So we have an elementary school, and our next guest will be Saluda Trail Middle School, which is the middle school STEAM, and then South Point. As a principal, and you're at the elementary level, but you were once at South Point High School,
Right.
What does adding that do for our students to be able to begin in kindergarten and go all the way through 12th grade in a STEAM program?
Well, it's definitely continuity. We have a great relationship with Saluda Trail and South Point. So we envision ourselves laying a foundation for our students, and so the ideas and concepts that we are building on and reinforcing will allow Saluda Trail and then South Point to go even deeper and further in terms of the STEM and the STEAM concepts that they have. When students start with us, I think it's a broader view of what STEAM can be. And as they move through middle school and high school, they can begin to specialize and choose an area that really appeals to them in terms of their learning styles and in terms of their career choices and that sort of thing. So I do believe that having a K through 12 program is going to be very beneficial for our students, and it's going to create that continuity across the schools and the staff, and then even the collaboration that we have with the high school students who are coming over and working with our elementary kids. So there are a lot of opportunities that are built into this as well that we are looking forward to.
Great. And South Point, this next year will be the first year that South Point is officially
Right.
A STEAM school. Right. Well, James and Carmela, I appreciate you being with me today. Is there anything else that you would like to tell students and parents who might be watching us about Oakdale Elementary? Anything else you want to share?
I would say Oakdale is a great opportunity for kids to have a good time, also learn as well, because I see that the teachers want us to actually have fun and learn at the same time. And with the many different programs and clubs we have, it will be a great opportunity in life.
James, anything else you want to add?
There are lots of clubs that we have and lots of great opportunities for cool field trips through the years and other cool opportunities like DNN and other clubs.
Well, great. Thank y'all so very much for being with me today. And guys, I hope y'all have a great rest of the school year. And when we come back, we will have Saluda Trail Middle School as our guest. And welcome back. I am now joined with Saluda Trail Middle School. And Ms. Campbell, I'm going to have you introduce yourself first, and then we'll let your student and your teacher introduce themselves.
Okay, I'm Brenda Campbell. I'm principal at Saluda Trail Middle School.
I'm Alana Neesmith. I'm in the 7th grade.
And I'm David Consalvi, and I'm the STEAM coach with Saluda Trail in Oakdale.
Well, thank you for being here with me. In our earlier segment, we actually had Oakdale Elementary on with us, so they've shared a little bit about what STEAM actually is. So, Ms. Campbell, tell us, students who choice to Saluda Trail Middle School, and we know that students all across our district have that opportunity. How does Saluda Trail Middle School look different than the other 4 middle schools in our district?
Well, as I always say, all of our 5 middle schools are phenomenal schools. I think the choice gives parents the opportunity to see what their child's most passionate about. We tend to gear toward the ones who are very good in art or enjoy art, and the ones that are savvy in technology or they know they want to be an engineer. So our school is different in some of the courses that we offer. We believe in giving students that opportunity to take some related arts courses that really are different from any middle school. We have digital photography, we have video production, multimedia, we have digital piano, which is very popular, digital animation, costume design, just some real different classes that the kids love to take. That's one way. Another way that we're very different in the STEAM program is our affiliation with Transform SC, which is a South Carolina a group of business people who went to the State Department and just said, you know, things in education, we need some changes. We're getting students out who are very, very bright out of college, spending a lot of money on training to get them ready for the marketplace or for the career, and they don't have those skills for collaboration and maybe learning how to work with others, sticking with a problem to solve it. And there's some lacking going on in that area. So we chose to go project-based learning when we became affiliated with Transform SC. And in project-based learning, we gear all of our curriculum and our standards around units of study that really mirror the marketplace. So we want our kids to learn how to stick with a problem, you know, not to have all the answers up front, but to really learn through inquiry and to be able to take those real-world situations and work with them until they find solutions. And we feel like that's a cool way of getting standards over in a different way.
So Alana, tell me a little bit about, you've been at Saluda Trail now for 2 years, you're in the 7th grade. Can you share with us an example of a project-based learning opportunity that you've had this year that was really exciting to you?
Currently, we're working on the health fair at Saluda Trail, where we just invite people in the community to come in and talk about how to stay healthy or things like that. And I'm in the planning committee. So we contact people in the community to come to our school and showcase what they do. And we did it last year, and last year was very successful. It actually, people donated blood at our school. So it definitely is going to benefit people in the future. And we've also done like Titanic, stuff like that, Science Fair, National History Day in the past, and it's just a very good learning experience.
So as a student, you're actually having to contact businesses, talk with adults, executives, different people as you're working on your projects. Is that correct?
Correct.
And then I think you also have to present many of your projects to adults in our community.
Yes.
That's great. Well, Mr. Consalvi, thank you for being here. And you're in a new role this year. Last year you were a teacher at Saluda Trail, but this year you're coaching at Saluda Trail and you're coaching at Oakdale Elementary. Tell us a little bit about what you do. What does that mean to be a STEM coach?
Well, the nice part about it is I get to work with students and teachers now, and both schools have great staff, and so it allows me to get in. I love the creative side. I love working with the students and drawing on their passions. And so what this position really does, it allows me to work with the students and connect student ideas and teacher planning together. So it helps that facilitating process so that the teachers basically design their lessons and their plans for their projects around student interests, which I can help facilitate that by communicating and coordinating. I do a lot of connecting between the two schools for Oakdale and Saluda Trail. Now I hope to add in with South Point, we're doing a lot of that. So we keep those connections and pathways open, and so it really opens a lot of voice for the students. And so I think one of my big, tasks is to try to make sure that the student choice and voice is there in those projects, and it's communicated back and forth so that everyone is involved.
So if I'm a parent and I walk into Saluda Trail and I've only been exposed to a traditional classroom, it's going to look a little bit different for me at Saluda Trail. What as a teacher, what looks different? How do you have to teach in a different way?
You have to release some of the control to the students. We give them a lot of opportunity with the health fair. As Alana said, she's in the planning stage. So as far as the teacher goes, I have to say, okay, what are you doing today? And she's going to tell me the plan, where a lot of times traditionally it was a matter of this is what you're going to do today. And now it's a matter of these are our goals. How are you going to get there? And the students make a lot of those decisions. So I think that's one of the things that the teachers really work a lot, is to figure out how they can release some of that control and really become a facilitator in the classroom, with the students becoming the leaders. And I think that's what you will see. If you look in our classroom, what's different. Our students believe in what they're doing, and they lead, which is what we're trying to create.
Just a few weeks ago, you were visited by Advanced Ed, who accredits our schools here in Rock Hill and also through the state and across the country and internationally. Right. And you and your school received a prestigious rating, accreditation. Can you tell our audience a little bit about what that is, and what did you all have to show them in order to receive this accreditation?
Sure. It's a pretty rigorous thing. They're in our school for 2 days, solid. They talk to focus groups from everything from our community, business partners, through students. They had 2 student group focus groups as well. There are 11 indicators, and they talk everything from the student focus, what are the students doing, the educators focus, what are your teachers doing, and then how are we doing outreach into the community and into the businesses. A huge part of STEM and STEAM and project-based learning is to get those communities into our schools. We all have career day, but this is way far, much more intense than that, where our students are taking part in creating an environment where our businesses, it's a win-win for businesses. So no longer are they coming in or you're asking them for money. You're getting time, you're getting students who are working with engineers in the area to help them design their project in an even more intense way than a teacher can facilitate. So it really opens up some huge doors, and the accreditation just puts a stamp on our program and lets us know we're headed in the right direction.
And if I'm not mistaken, Saluda Trail is one in about 25 in the nation to have received this type of accreditation at this time.
Right, and the 3rd in South Carolina for a middle school. It is fairly new, and so we were very happy to get that kind of award and to have them in our school to give us areas that we can be proud of and areas that, we continue to grow in.
Well, great. Well, thank you all very much for being with me, and if parents want to come and tour Saluda Trail, I'm sure they can just set up a time to come and see what you're doing in your school.
And we do have one more time at 1:30 tomorrow that is open at this point.
Well, great. Well, thank you all so much for being with me today.
Thank you.
And when we come back, we'll have Miss Jackie Jones, principal of the Children's School. Welcome back. Now I'm joined by Miss Jackie Jones and Miss Lori Jewell from the Children's School, which is our Montessori choice in Rock Hill. So thank you both for being with me. And we look forward to talking a little bit about Montessori and helping parents who maybe do not know really what Montessori is, have a better idea. So, Ms. Jones, why don't you begin just by sharing with us, what do you offer students at the children's school that perhaps at a traditional school a child may not receive?
Okay, first thing, I think in a Montessori setting, the families are going to note right off the bat is that we have multi-age classrooms. There are 3 levels in our early childhood classrooms, 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds, and 5-year-olds, all multi-age together. And then in our 1st and 2nd grade, they're multi-age together. The teachers have the opportunity to be with the students for more than 1 year, which is also unique from a regular traditional school. A third thing that you'll also note is that there's lots of freedom and movement and choice in a Montessori classroom. The teachers are seen as facilitators. They do not direct the classroom, but they guide instruction for each individual student. And finally, you will see lots of one-on-one collaboration with the teacher and an assistant, as opposed to whole group instruction. And one other big thing is that all classrooms have a teacher and an assistant. All those are unique in our school setting.
And as one of our earlier guests said, all of our schools are excellent. So a child cannot go to the wrong school. A parent can't make a wrong choice in our school district. But Ms. Jewel, you teach our students, so and you teach early childhood 3, 4, and 5-year-olds. Right. So if a parent comes into your classroom, what are they going to see?
First of all, as Ms. Jones said, being multi-age, a lot of the parents don't realize there's the 3-year-old in the classroom. Because the children are all working at their level, it's hard to tell the age of the child, which parents find very surprising, first of all. The other thing that surprises parents most is that they're very independent, that children are in charge of their learning. They're selecting their own lessons, they're taking care of themselves, getting their own snack, cleaning up the room on their own, using a broom and a dustpan, and feeding the fish, and there's 20 plus children in the classroom, and all of this is taking place in a quiet, peaceful setting.
A lot of parents would like the fact just that kids are sweeping and cleaning up after themselves. A question a parent might have is, we all know that we have standards in our schools, so how do you as a teacher and as a principal make sure that students have what they need as they progress to 3rd grade, 4th grade, 5th grade, so that the child is where they need to be when they get there?
We follow the district's curriculum map just like any other school does. We just weave Montessori within that. And the Montessori materials, which is the curriculum, covers a lot of the state standards. There's a few, but as the teachers see where the holes are, we can make lessons that have that Montessori look to it and address that standard. So it's really not a problem.
So, Ms. Jones, I know right now we are in the process of taking our parents and students on tours. I know you've had quite a few, yes. But we also have some things coming up in the future as it relates to our Montessori facility. Do you want to share just a little bit about what that's going to be as we move forward?
Absolutely. First of all, I'm very excited that next year we will continue our Montessori program, and we're going to still offer 3K through 2nd grade at our school. Currently we go to 5th grade, but we will be transitioning to moving to only 2nd grade as the final grade. But after that, we're moving into a new facility on the campus of Ebenezer Avenue, which we are excited about the design and the layout of that building and being able to customize it specifically for a Montessori setting. And we're excited because our students that will leave us after 2nd grade will then transition into the School of Inquiry, which will be on the campus of Ebenezer Avenue. So for 1 year, we will still be on the children's school campus, but after that, we will join the other students at Ebenezer. And we're looking forward to that. It's exciting. Lots of materials will need to be transitioned from one building to another, but our teachers are very excited, and we look forward to the possibility of expanding our program and being able to offer it to many students in our district.
And Ms. Jewell, as I go to Montessori classrooms and I walk in, there are many amazing things going on because students are engaged, working on their own to accomplish a task. The materials that you use are even different than what a traditional classroom teacher. Can you share some of those with us? What are some things that the students might use that are a little bit different?
With the early childhood, we have an area that's called Practical Life, which kind of looks like kitchen stuff, but it's not. They use a lot of spoons and bowls where they're transferring water or beans, and believe it or not, this is where we begin literacy, because everything travels left to right, putting back in an order. The shelves are ordered left to right, and the children work their way from top to bottom. So even though it looks like you're playing in a kitchen, they're not. Everything has an order to it. Everything in math and in language is all hands-on. Language has cut-out letters. We use pictures, we use objects where the children are writing the names of those pictures, the names of those objects. Instead of like Unifix cubes, maybe in a traditional classroom, we use beads. Our beads are strung together to show base 10. So the kids are using similar materials that are in a traditional classroom, but Montessori is just known for its beads and math.
And you said that you teach 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds, and 5-year-olds. So we actually have 3-year-old children in your classroom.
Yes.
So if I'm a parent watching and interested that my 3-year-old might benefit, what would be some characteristics that would fit into a Montessori school? Are there specific things that my child might need to possess in order to be successful in that environment?
Well, a 3-year-old, 3-year-olds are a lot into their own world and not anyone else's. And so it's hard. They're at that point where they're beginning to see how their actions will interfere or go along with the rest of the class. And so getting them out of that me mode, that's the hardest thing for them to do. And again, they are seeing how they are able to work with others and not using that loud voice, using that soft voice. And it's really a transition time for them. The 3-year-old does a huge amount of growth in that year. They're seeing that they can actually do things themselves. And that's huge. I mean, that's what my parents, our end of the year conference, that's all they talk about. It's like, oh my goodness, we have seen such a change in our child. They want to take on the world now. They want to do this. They want to do that. They want to know why this is. So it's really a good transitional year to have a 3-year-old come to us, because we can help them make that transition and really get them ready for the academics as they turn it into a 4-year-old.
So it could be any 3-year-old.
Oh yes, yes.
Wow.
And it's amazing to see from the beginning of the year to now in the growth and how excited the children are with learning, from coming in at a 3-year-old and now being in the midpoint to the end of the school year. Exciting growth.
Well, great. Well, thank you both for being with me. And again, we know that all of our schools are excellent schools, but this certainly is an opportunity for parents who want a choice of something different for their child. So thank you so much for being with me today.
Thank you.
And I would like to thank Ms. Mensinger's class for producing today's show, and specifically Director Azure Aiken. I hope you'll join me next time on School Talk.